Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Stockport County, welcome back to Edgeley Park. Firstly, before we get into this episode, we'll go through the transfers that we made in the last episode. They were Dan Addison, Nabil Ziani, James Graham, Aaron Morris, Kevin Games. They were all youngsters that were released from Premier League clubs. We then brought in Ashley Phillips for £37,500 from Bristol City, Robbie Irwin from Derby County, Abdu Aziz Sek and Mohamed Boateng, who were both wanted by big clubs. I think both the Milan clubs wanted those. We got them both. Ron Curry and Tony Collins are both backup goalkeepers. Ryan Manning is an experienced fullback, can play pretty much anywhere. Anthony Purcell is another centre-back, and Matthew Whittingham for 130,000, who plays on the left hand side but can sort of play anywhere on that left side, can also fill in at right back as well. If you want more details on those, yesterday's episode, we go through all of them. You'll see all their attributes and all their stats. So if you want to look at that, you can check out yesterday's episode. That is the transfers we have made. This is going to be the side that is going to open the season in a game against Reading, who I believe we showed yesterday are predicted to finish in 18th. So it's a test of whether we are Championship quality. Nonetheless, the team is as follows, and it has a very, very familiar look about it, that I will say. It's Webb in goal. It'll be Boateng at left back, Phillips and Dunwoody in the centre, Pemberthy at right back, Benjamin sat in front of them, McCann and Sek in the centre of midfield, Cover on the left, Morris on the right, Alexander up front. That trio that dominated in League One starts in the Championship. McCann keeps his place. After me thinking he wasn't going to be good enough to play at League One level, he starts in the Championship. Benjamin moves into that defensive midfield role. Boateng comes in as the new guy at left back and Sek as the other new guy at central midfield. The bench is Whittingham, Harley Ewan, Anthony Purcell, Liam Shaw, Bradley Reed, Robbie Irwin and Graham Donnelly. So a lot of the new boys on the bench as well. Whittingham, Purcell and Irwin on the bench. So not a lot of signings. We've got this side now, which has been together for a long time. As you see here, Lewis Webb came in the 27-28 season and has played every match virtually in every division as he's made his way up to the Championship, and also, as we pointed out in some previous episodes, has now got 7 caps for the Welsh international team. I presume that makes him their number 1 goalkeeper, and it seems like it does. Owen Evans is the other guy from Wimbledon, and MK Dons Nathan Lake is the other 2 defenders. So Lewis Webb at 28 years of age, making his name on the international scene in Wales. And there's obviously a few more players around there. Dunwoody's been here a long time, so has Xavier Benjamin, so has Charlie McCann. Brandon Cover has also been here a while, and George Alexander. That's all we need to get into today. As you see here, Reading away from home, opening day of the season. Hopefully we can get a result. Hopefully we can do something. As I said, we've been through the team lineups. Let's get into the opening game. So here we are, opening game of the season away at Reading. Looks like a pretty full house here. We are lining up with the 4-3-3 as usual. Reading with their 4-4-2, and Reading getting the early shot in this game as Harris now in the right fullback position to Abbey. Little 1-2 into Rinomota. Maitson now looks for Mesquita, gets past Phillips. Mesquita now running into the box, hits the shot on Webb with a great save there. I said he had one really good game in an episode against Bolton, which we lost. And from then on in, he wasn't too good, as Cover now can pick that up, and that will be the end of the highlight. 15 minutes in, we're not being outclassed here at all. Webb is on a 7.3 after that one good save. Shaden Morris on a 6.4. That's slightly disappointing, but I feel like that's because we haven't had a lot going forward at the moment. We're half an hour in, only that one highlight at the moment, and it looks as if we may just get into half time with no real issues here. And we are going... Oh, there's an injury as well. Shaden Morris on a 6.2 gets injured. So Robbie Irwin will get his debut. He'll come on just before that half-time whistle. Well, we've gone nearly 5 minutes over. What do we say with that? Let's point the finger. Happy with your performance so far. They're all inspired and motivated. And hopefully we can do something. As Pemberthy looks over top for Alexander, who digs over the... What a goal from George Alexander. And what a way to get your first goal in the Championship. And it's Reading 0, Stockport County 1. And Pemberthy just chips it over the top of the defence. And Alexander, on the half volley, first time, just dinks it over the goalkeeper, who was 6 or 7 yards off his line. There's a tight offside as well. That is very, very tight. But as you see here, it just bounces and he hits it on the bounce straight over the goalkeeper. And 2 minutes after half time, it's 1-0. Stockport County and George Alexander proving that he can score in any division. We're coming up towards the hour mark now as Pemberthy, with his throw into Irwin, goes back to Pemberthy. He comes in field to Xavier Benjamin. Ball through to Irwin. Irwin with the shot. He's at the inside of the post now, but he can clear it away. And that was a chance to make it 2-0. And it'll be a throw in here on the far side. Boateng will launch it in. He looks long, makes and heads away. Boateng can get it back to cover. Back to Boateng. McCann. Benjamin. Hits the shot. It's blocked. Goes back to Benjamin once again. Back to Pemberthy. He looks at a switch ball out to Boateng. Takes it down towards the byline. Pulls it back for cover. Can he get the crossing? He does. Oh, I think he's offside. I think... Yeah, he is. It won't count. It was a good header there from inside the 6-yard box. Well worked. Cover picked him up brilliantly. He's about a yard or so offside. It's a good header from point blank range though. And it remains 1-0. I think it's time to make some subs. And what do we do at this point? I think Xavier Benjamin is going to come off. And I think we're going to bring on Bradley Reed in that defensive midfield role, just to make sure we don't get any silly yellow cards and get a player sent off, because that is the last thing we want with this 1-0 lead. That boy's fired up. Dunwood heads it to Reed. McCann. Reed receives it back. Pemberthy upfield to Sec. Looks for Irwin, who's got beyond his man. Irwin now into the box. Hits the shot over the bar. And that was really well worked. Irwin looks like a very good player there on that right-hand side. Shaden Morris has got injured. We'll have to see how long he's out for as Enriquez heads that ball over the top. No real threat there. And hopefully now we can build out from the back once again as they put the pressure on. Switch ball is cut out by Rimamota. Adamu into Jones, and what a finish from Joel Jones. It's 1-1, 20 minutes to play. And oh, there's an offside flag. So Adamu, I thought, for all the world, I thought he was clearly onside. It's a great touch to set himself out his feet and a great finish, but it will not count. It remains 1-0 as we go into the final 10 minutes of the game. We're going to look at making that last substitution. Having a look at who's struggling. Brandon Cover is struggling and isn't having a good game. So we're going to bring Graham Donnelly on for him. And we're going to stay as we are for the next 5 minutes or so before we drop cautious in these final 5 minutes. Hoping to just withstand any pressure that Reading want to put on us as we go into stoppage time. It is a 1-0 victory in the opening game of the Championship. George Alexander getting the goal. A lovely half volley chip over the goalkeeper from about 20 yards. Reading 0, Stockport County 1. And we're off to a winning start. And this has gone much better than I expected. So 2 bits of news. Shaden Morris is out for 6 to 7 weeks with sprained knee ligaments. And Phillips impresses on his debut to remember in the 1-0 victory. He was probably the big signing of the summer, was Ashley Phillips, and a brilliant performance to get that clean sheet. And Stockport really didn't have a lot in that game, if I'm completely honest. So very good performance from all the boys. That means now that Robbie Irwin will get his chance to play in the upcoming games with Shaden Morris being out for so long. Jimmy Doob is going to come onto the bench. The youngster who's been here a little while now hasn't really found his footing, has a chance to maybe do something in the Championship. Carabao Cup game away at Middlesbrough. We will have a game at Edgeley Park in this episode in the next game. The team is as follows. Webb retains his place in goal. The back four is Sereno, Reed, Purcell and Whittingham. Hottie sits in front of them. Sec and Shaw in the centre of midfield. Donnelly on the left, Irwin on the right, Addison up front. It's a much changed side, getting some fitness into some of the players that didn't have a lot of a pre-season, getting, just mixing it up a little bit. We don't want to tie these players out too quickly. So let's get into it. Middlesbrough versus Stockport, Carabao Cup, first round, let's go. And we are underway here in this cup game. Not a big crowd here at the Riverside as Chukwuemeka gives it to Muskie. Is that Caleb or is it Carney that is playing for Middlesbrough? Akandi into Chukwuemeka. His cross is blocked. Out to Senga now. Ball through for Akandi. Akandi with a shot and it's 1-0. Adrian Akandi makes it Middlesbrough 1, Stockport 0. 30 seconds into this cup tie. I don't think we've touched the ball yet. Akandi and Chukwuemeka holding on to it. The ball was blocked. It came to Senga. He's through ball into Akandi. Touch with his left foot. Shot with his right into the top corner. It was inside about 26 seconds actually. It's Middlesbrough 1, Stockport 0. There was a tight offside. I don't really notice it. It's the right fullback there playing him onside, and it is 1-0, and it is Carney Chukwuemeka. I'm going to have a quick look at what his career has done. So he was obviously at Villa, didn't play much, went to Derby, played in the Championship for them. Played one game for Villa in 2 seasons, went back on loan to Hull and then Bristol, then played 2 games in the Championship for Villa. Hasn't really took off as much as I thought he would, because he has very good potential at the start of the game, hasn't really fulfilled it as yet, and obviously sees himself at Middlesbrough in the Sky Bet Championship in 2030. Nothing really has happened in the minutes since that goal. Nothing at all. It's very, very quiet. Middlesbrough dominating, 3 shots, 3 on target. But half an hour gone, it's 1-0. So we are into the final 15 minutes of what has been a very, very dull game. Don't let those stats fool you in the slightest. It has been dull as anything. That early highlight with the goal for Middlesbrough, nothing else has happened since. As Purcell now can run over halfway. We've made a triple change, by the way. We've brought Jimmy Dubon up front. We have also brought on Charlie McCann and Manning, who's got behind his man, pulls it back. Irwin heads it over. Good chance there. Well, the only chance that we've had in this game. You look at the XGs, both very poor. As we go to the final 2 minutes, we've gone attacking as well, but nothing has come of it. It has finished 1-0, and we're out of the Carabao Cup at the first stage. We made changes. We knew it was going to be a struggle. It was a very dull game. Nothing really happened, and it's finished Middlesbrough 1, Stockport County 0. We're out of the cup. Let's go focus on the league as we take on Bristol City in the final game of the episode. Right then, third and final game of the episode. We're back to pretty much full strength. Webb in goal, Boateng, Dunwoody, Phillips and Pemberthy across the back. Benjamin in front of them. McCann and Shaw this time in the centre of midfield. Cover on the left, Irwin on the right, Alexander up front. Let's get into it, and let's hopefully continue our unbeaten start in the league. It's Stockport versus Bristol City at Edgeley Park. Let's go. Wilson with his free kick. Lindsay with the header. And Charlie Lindsay scores inside the first 5 minutes. And it's Stockport 0, Bristol City 1. And it's a poor goal to concede. The free kick came in from the far side. And if we just look here, Lindsay he's got 2 men on him. And he still gets up high enough to win the header and make it 1-0. First shot on target, and Stockport trail by a goal to 0, and that is not the start we wanted here. As there's another free kick, Wilson will put it in again. Moore gets up this time. 2 goals, 2 free kicks, 1 from either side. First one headed in by Lindsay, second one headed in by Moore. Far post, he's got away from his man, backed away from his man, and he's just guided the header back past Webb. 15 minutes gone, it's 2-0. And that is not a great start. And Bristol City come yet again, blocks them now on that far side to Bakinson. Gets that ball towards Byrne, who nods it down, but it goes into the path of Webb, who collects it comfortably. And now just need to reset now, find a ball. You can see Benjamin's dropped there deep to collect it, but they use Phillips instead. Shaw now goes into Benjamin. Dunwoody out to the left hand side and cover. Infield to Boateng. Has to go back to Dunwoody, and he can drive forward into cover again. He puts that ball into Irwin. Good touch beyond his man. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and Vanya makes the save. There's a good chance for us there to get a goal back. Good ball at the top, Robbie Irwin. He's making some good runs. His finishing does leave a lot to be desired as Phillips gets his head on that ball and heads it over. Tried to glance it from that near post area. No such luck. As their cover goes back to McCann, gives it to Boateng. They go further back now to Benjamin. Pemberthy into Shaw, back to goal. Turns, hits it, and Vanya saved it. I thought it was going to spill inside the post. It didn't. It just went round the post for a corner kick, and Shaw will whip it in. Missed by everyone, and Byrne could hook it away, but it's out for a throw-in on the near side. And we're looking a little bit better, but we've given them a 2-goal head start. And you can't do that against anyone. Doesn't matter who you're playing. You give them a 2-goal head start, you're going to be struggling. As Pemberthy now switches that ball to cover on the left-hand side. Can he find the ball in? Pulls it back to the edge box. McCann! He hit the post. That was a very eccentric looking volley there from Charlie McCann. But since those 2 goals have gone in, we haven't changed nothing. We haven't even dropped any encouragement or berating or anything like that. We've just turned it on since that second goal went in. And it's a shame that we are 2-0 down, because we play so well. That ball's into Shaw, into Irwin, and why Shaw didn't shoot, I will never know. Irwin was really at a tight angle, was going to always be struggling to find the back of the net. And it remains 2-0 in a half in which, barring those first 15 minutes, we have been absolutely on top. Pemberthy looks short for Shaw. Gets it back into McCann now. Into Benjamin. Shaw! Oh, another chance goes begging. And, I mean, look at the XG. We're at 0.89 XG to a 0.52. They've got 2 goals though. 2 free kicks, 2 headers. Lindsay and Moore. both from Wilson's free kicks. We're going to get into them, thrash the arms. We've motivated them all. Hopefully we can do something. We're going to throw a bit of encouragement, see if we can get something. An early goal in this second half would be ideal, but as I say that, we're 10 minutes into this second half and nothing has happened as yet. Coming up to the hour mark, we're going to... The assistant has said we should bring Sek on for sure. We're going to do exactly that. Sek needs to show us why these big clubs wanted him. We're 18 minutes away from full time now. Manning looked okay when he came on at left back in the cup game. Made a decent run down that side. We're going to make that one change, leave one change left just in case. We're into the final 15 minutes now. Robbie Irwin is struggling. We're going to take him off now. He's playing well, he's just struggling. Jimmy Doob is going to play yet another game, back-to-back games for the youngster, Zimbabwe 21-year-old. As we go into the final 5 minutes, we're going to go very attacking for it just to see if we can get anything going. A little berate as well as we go into stoppage time. It doesn't look like we're going to do anything. Are we going to concede another set piece from Wilson? Nearly as Burn this time heads over. Wilson has been lethal with these set pieces. We created a lot of opportunities in that first half. We just couldn't hit the back of the net, and we lose 2-0 to Bristol City in a game in which, after that opening 15 minutes, we kind of dominated. If I'm completely honest, I'll say I'm proud, because actually after that start we played very, very well. So as the episode will come to an end, Bristol City go top, 2 wins from 2 games. We are in 16th, 1 win and 1 defeat, and that defeat in the cup as well. Let's have a quick look at the schedule. As we look through here, there's so many big teams that I want to show on camera. I think what we're going to do is we're going to come back for... Let's have a look. I think we're going to come back. I think we're going to play through the rest of August, all of September. We're going to come back in October. We're going to show the Fulham and the Sheffield United games. 2 biggish clubs at this level, I would say. We're going to miss out. I know we've got Crystal Palace there and Forest and Blackburn, but they're a little bit too soon for my liking. So yeah, we're going to come back 19th of October, Fulham, and then we're going to play Sheffield Wednesday. Actually, we're going to make that a triple header. We're going to play Southend as well, who came up with us, and see if we aren't the worst team in the league by the time we get to that point. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.